Hello. Can I share this now? I don't even know where I shared that to. There we go. Boom. Okay. There we go. Hello. Getting some music started. Give me 1 second. Just want to make sure I get some music playing. I need a little container to put batteries in. Whatever. Hello. Successful. Woo! One of these days I'm going to actually clean this place like I keep saying I'm going to. I really hope I do. We have stuff to make tonight. And I'm on YouTube again. The reason why I'm on YouTube is because I do my masks for my wrestlers that commission me on YouTube for the fact that it's easier to record this so I can put it on IWTV later. Hi. Um, so that's why I'm here. I'm normally on TikTok. But hey, at least I'm getting content on YouTube now, huh? Let's get some music going. Boom. There we are. So I was going to try to let some more people come on, but I don't know when they'll be getting on. Maybe I can hit. Oh, I'm back. So, I guess I'm not going to waste any more time because let's go ahead and do the intro for IWTV. How's it going, everybody? Maskmonger here. You also know me as Vinny Radlock, as Splatterhausen, as the Cecil, and all this other stuff. And today, we're going to be working on a mask for none other than Neil Diamond Cutter. That's right, Neil Diamond Cutter, world-renowned deathmatch legend, still going at it. And he's got a special couple matches that are coming up. He won't be out of the country, but he's going to be taking on some beloved competitors as well. And I'm going to be making masks that is going to be kind of based on their attitudes and stuff. Because if you guys don't know yet, Neil Diamond Cutter has had me make 5 masks in the past. Each mask that I've made him has been in honor of either who he was facing up against or where he was going. I've made masks for the H2O Dream match. We also had a mask where he went to Canada, Mexico, Japan, as well as the UK. And so he's going against the Kirks. Brandon first. So Brandon, I believe, is electrician at trade, and so the first mask we're going to be doing for him is going to have a bunch of fun like wires and stuff like that. I even want to do a bunch of wires that are going to form the horns. So that's what we're doing. So we're going to open up this box and get cracking on it. You're going to see a big old time lapse or something like that as I'm doing that. But if you are watching me live on YouTube, that's more fun. You're going to watch that slowly happen. Alright, so I always do the same recipe for the main masks, which is these. It's funny too because the masks come across small when you see them, but when you put them all together, they fit him perfectly. So we have these, and they're not plastic, and they're not. They're called the Japanese Halloween Demon Skull Wolf, and I've seen a lot of wrestlers start using these now, but I use them first. So these are what you have. This is the top piece for it. It's nice and really hard, but it's got a little bit of flex to it. So this is the top piece that we use, but we also, when we do it, we cut the ears off. We adhere it to this hockey mask right here. And so we slap it on there, make it all line up. We cut the ears off, and we end up moving the ears down here to the side because right here is where the horns come out. But this holds everything in place. So we got these. That's going to be a fun little project later. And I got two. I got one that I'm doing for Brandon. The other one I'm doing for Casey. But we only need to do Brandon's right now. I believe this is the other piece. Let's get this open. And it does not want to open. Let's get this piece over in here. There you go, with the bottom part. Okay. So we're going to be untying these. Look how tiny that is. That is the smallest I've seen this. That is definitely super tiny. Comparatively to what I normally have, these are very small. So checking this out. I feel like these are made for a little child. Well, either way, we're going to make it work. Just like I always have in the past. So we're going to get into third-person craft mode with the cunning use of this fun little neck mount. Okay. There we go. Flip this. Boop. And we're going to move there, and there. Push you guys up. Oop. Torture never ends. All right. Trash. We're gonna untie. Oh. It was really cool though because I use these for lacing for wrestling masks and whatnot, like the more lucha style. When I start it up again. It is harder and harder to untie. Well, I was working on Aiden Blackheart's mask. I was adding. I found the batteries for the one so I can get the whole mask lit up. When I was flipping it open, I split my finger. So there we go. All right. So we got a couple things we need to do first. One, we're gonna remove these ears, and then there's my stitching glove, custom made. It's for different wrestling promos, promotions, and whatnot. So the goal is we're going to remove this part. We're going to build this onto something else, and that is going to be a completely separate jaw that'll move on its own. And then this is going to be the main focal point for everything when it's done. So the first thing we need to do is remove these ears, which we are going to do thusly. Oh, nope. Okay, so we're going to set that here for now. Hey, what's going on? We got who? Kyler Ren 77. How's it going? We are making a mask for Neil Diamond Cutter. This is his 6th mask. And we got these 3 pieces we're going to be hacking up and slapping together. Whoop, 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 whoop. Here you go in here. You gotta organize a little better. One of these days I'm going to spend a whole day cleaning. I swear. It's just not going to be anytime soon. Hey. A bunch of just random pieces of God knows what everywhere. What is this? Okay, it's heating up. Takes a minute to heat up. Those little sparkles there. UV stuff, glow in the dark stuff. See, it says, there we go. All right, so we're going to use this to slowly cut in and cut away the pieces of the ears, because we're going to be moving the ears into a different location. The horns will actually be coming out here. Okay, so that's going to take forever. So I need something else to use to carve this out with. I have it right here. Yay, Dremels. This is my new video series called This Is Why We Time-Lapse Things. That's broken loose. There we go. Got one ear loose. Do a little bit of reshaping up here. All right, here we go. There we go. All right. There we go. That's taken care of. We're just gonna there's one done, one side. Okay. That's what we need there. We need the bottom jaw. Now, Oh, it's still hot and molten. That was silly. Okay, so we'll go up here first. You see where I have it right now. I hope you guys are enjoying your enjoying what you're seeing. We're gonna get this marked. Alright. Connect the dots. Alright. That is what we have right now to work with. How are we doing? What's up, Ray? We are working on Neil Diamond Cutter's mask, so you guys know him as the Honey Badger, the world famous now deathmatch legend. We got 2 masks we gotta do for him. We're doing one right now. There's one. Where are you up to? Hopefully you've seen some of the ones he's done out of country. Because on a couple of those, he's worn the mask that I make him. He wears them as an intro. And then he ends up at the end of the match giving them to his opponent as a gift. Almost every match, which I've seen almost all of them except for one on IWTV. But the match he did on IWTV, or the match that he did that isn't on IWTV, he actually did a recording of the day in the life. And for the day in the life, he actually shows off the mask that he's getting ready to wear to Mexico. So I was like, that's cool. He's still showing off my stuff. I was like, yeah, I can't be mad at that. Well, he did the one which was they called it the dream match, and that was the very first mask he had me make. Okay. Oh, to me. Now we gotta go here. Hole right there. Hole right there. 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 This one's gonna be a fun mask because it's he faced Brandon Kirk, and as a gift to Kirk, he's making him a special mask. And Kirk's known by trade; he's an electrician, so there's going to be a bunch of wiring in and out of this mask. Matter of fact, the horns are going to be made out of like a wire. I think that's going to look really cool. Oh yeah, what is it? This is what I do. Okay, got that one in place. Oh, cool, a Joker mask. Is it like the one from what was it, Death in the Family or something like that, where it's his face that was peeled off and he has to stretch it back on? Which really reminds me of Repo the Genetic Opera. Also reminds me of The Fiend. Ah. I had a chance at getting a couple of those for really cheap back in the day, and I just didn't pull the trigger on it. Because it was, there were 6 of them. They wanted $5 each, and they were still in the box and everything, and they were at a comic store that was closing down. And I was surprised that they didn't sell, and I'm like, why didn't they sell? Like, in my head, I'm like, they must be really bad if they haven't sold already. So, because of that, I didn't buy them. Because I became paranoid over the fact that they were still there. I'm like, these should have sold. So there's obviously something wrong with it. And I found out what was wrong with it was in their storage room, and they just brought it out. So I was like, oh, I should have bought those. That's how it goes sometimes, you know. Oh, that'd be cool. And I saw Desperados doing some Jeff Hardy inspiration masks painting right now. He's showing it off on the Discord. More zip ties. Blah. Oh, yeah. Okay, and then... Yeah, he's doing a real good job. I love the fact that there's a lot of. I have in the Discord, we have people that are already like well known or well versed mask makers, and then we also have people that are just starting out. But since what I like is the fact that I feel like what I'm doing is paying off because they're watching some of the stuff that I'm doing and they're incorporating it. You know, like I said, it's like my goal is to almost have this be like a tutorial. And they're taking it all to heart and like really making it work for them. And I'm like, that is an awesome feeling because they're kind of taking some of the stuff that they've seen me do. And not only are they incorporating it on their masks, they're also putting their own spins on it and coming up with some really cool pieces. I love that. That's so inspirational. Whoa. Come on. All right. So that way you won't see it. Because then you got that and you see all that and that's pesky, but then you got that one and you're like, okay, it's a lot better. How we doing, Skull Mortar? We're working on another Neil Diamond Cutter Demon Badger mask. So since we're doing another wrestling mask, we're back on the Yow Tub. If you don't mind me using my cheeseburger cat talk. Yow Tubby. You guys remember that website back in the day? Cheeseburgercat.com. I love that. People nowadays, they won't remember who Cheeseburger Cat is. Okay. There we go. So once again, we do that. So if you look at the front of the mask, you don't see the edges of the thing. So there we go. I read that wrong, Skull. I thought you were saying you were also in Ohio. So I was like, no, in Ohio. I'm like, what? You went to Ohio? I'm liking that. That's looking good. So what we do now is we actually go and we'll attach the ears and work out how the horns are going to go on before we carve the rest of this stuff off. And then we're going to take the bottom of the mask and we're going to attach this piece to it because this is going to be a completely separate piece. It's worked the best. Why did you mount it on a hockey mask? Because the reason why we mount it on the hockey mask is for two reasons. One, because it'll be easier to strap it on, wrap around the head better, especially right here and here. Second, when we are moving the ears, for example, the ears are going to end up being here and here. If you put them down there, they're going to look silly. So we actually are going to butt them up against the hockey mask there. And then the horns will usually utilize this chunk here. So then after we get the horns and the ears attached, we cut off the rest of this access. And so, I mean, it's been, hey, what's going on, JD? And, but yeah, that's why we're doing it the way we're doing it there, so that the hockey mask ends up, I mean, you know me, almost everything I do involves a hockey mask skull. I was just like, how can I incorporate a hockey mask in this word? I like how, if I do it this way, he's perky. Ears are perky. And then if I do it this way, he's more docile. Ears are down like a flop-eared one, so we want them to be more excited. So we're gonna go up with them. I need to sleep. All right, so. Almost everything is like, how can I incorporate even my Man-Thing mask? I mean, this guy right up there, boom. That all started with a hockey mask. People don't realize that. The very first thing I did was I put on a hockey mask. And then I started building around the hockey mask with like I think where I was, my buddy Solomon Mortimer's place, his ex-wife, when they were still together, she was a heavy drinker, and so she had a bunch of Coors Light boxes laying around. So I just grabbed Coors Light boxes and just started. I would duct tape it to the sides of the hockey mask and then start building off on it and building off on it. And from there, got the form to where I could start adding all the other stuff. So. So yeah, it's not too surprising. All right, so we're going to drill the 2 holes in here. I don't know exactly what they use to make this stuff. Some kind of like mixture of plaster and whatever, but it stinks so bad. It almost smells like, I hate saying it, but it smells like bone being grinded. It's not bone, but it smells like it. Yes. All right, Skull. You're a butthole. All right, so got those 2 first. Let's push it. All right. So now, so the horns are going to be right there, so we want to do these right here. So we already have that spot there done. We're going to have there. Oh, they just... Yeah, I'm just going to grow that one out a little bit, have it thread through there. And then we have this one right here. We're going to go in through here. right. How many bones have you grinded to know? No, actually, so what we ended up doing, one of the haunted houses that I worked for back in the day, we had a creepy like dentist room because dentists are scary. And what we did was, instead of just having like the sound effects of a dentistry place, we actually had a real like dental drill. And before they would come in, he was acting like we had a dummy that he would be grinding into the mouth and stuff. But there was a dummy head, and inside the mouth was actually an old shell bone from a turtle. So when they were coming in and he was grinding it, you would see dust flying up and that smell. And it was the shell bone of a turtle he was grinding into and stuff. And you'd hear just, and you'd see the dust coming up of it out of this dummy's mouth. And the smell of the ground up bone was just, oh my gosh. It was something else. It was definitely something else. There's that. It was a smell I wasn't ready for when I first experienced it. And I don't know if you guys ever remembered, depending on how well you are versed in the haunt industry, there used to be a group, I don't know if they're still around or not, but they're called Sinister Scents. 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 Scents as in smells. They were great. They would have these little canisters. And their canisters had, I think it was like 70 different scents. They would have gunshot, cotton candy, popcorn, rotting flesh, freshly dug dirt, grass, rain. And so you would have these big rooms, and they would have these machines that you could put those canisters in, and it would just waft it out. So even though you were indoors, if you went to a graveyard scene, they would have dirt, mud, grass, rain, gravel, like all those different scents built together. And it would just that smell would just permeate. Saying, is there a real bone mask? There's probably real bone masks out there. If I had the proper style bones, I'd probably build a mask out of bone. But, oh my gosh. And the funny thing was, so they had the one scent that was rotting flesh. And everybody got to smell it. And oh my God, it was so terrible. Then they dared somebody to come and smell what rotting flesh was expired. Because their scents since they use different chemicals and stuff, they have an expiration date. They found out that when their rotting flesh expires, it smells just like milk chocolate. And I was one of the first people who went up there to go take a whiff of it, and I was like, oh my God, this really does smell like chocolate. So he says that when they expire, you could then reuse them in a scene where there might be like a candy store, like clowns or something like that, because then you can smell something sweet and sugary. And that was trippy, because it's like, oh, so rotting flesh, when rotting flesh goes bad, it smells like it smells like candy. All right, we got that. I just zip tie over the zip tie. It's fine because we're going to put a layer of foam right there anyway. All right, so we got the ears here in place. All right. probably be using like hot glue and stuff to help mesh all that in together, bulk it up and whatnot. All right, we got this one here. And see, that's all the difference. See how perky it is right here? If I would have done the other ear, it would have been down like this instead. Just that little difference. Itty bitty difference. I'll remove this one. This is what I should have done over there, but I didn't. Hindsight's 20/20, but it's already done. I'm not going to go back and... What I'm going to say I said I did it was hard. We're getting ready to have a special... Oh my God, how old I am. 25th anniversary episode. My buddy Blake0561, who covers like some of the most violent and gruesome death matches, has been working with me on doing some of the craziest matches in ZPW history. And that includes back when ZPW was known as WTFW. There is a match that happened 25 years ago on June 9th. And we called it, at the time we called it the House of Pain match. And then when they double checked, they found out that there wasn't any other big promotions that was using the term House of Pain match. And the reason why they called it the House of Pain match was because, I don't know, I guess there was a tag team called House of Pain at the time. And they were coming up with the idea on how to do the match. I thought that dude was going to message me for an interview. He said he did, and he never got contacted by you. And I said, dude, he's probably busy. I was like, he's doing so much stuff. I was like, the last thing he's got on his mind is the last thing he's got on his mind right now is a little interview when he's, making money selling barbecues. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. That piece broke. All right, we're going to have to fix that. Just going to pierce his ear higher. Oh, wait, not with that. It's that, or he may have lost track of who all he was supposed to... Because, like, he's messaged Akira, he's messaged Zodiac, he's messaged Hoodfoot, and all of them had said previously that they're willing to do interviews with him, but then when he's messaging them, like 2 or 3 days out going, hey, you still want to do the interview, they kind of ghost him, so he may have just gotten confused and thought that you were one of the people on the list that didn't respond back to him when he actually didn't message you. Around that time, he'd gotten in a really horrible car accident, too, so it kind of messed his head up a little bit. So it was more than likely more on his part. Anywho. All right, there. So we got the ears in place now. Ta-da! Cut these loose. And I know you would have, Skull. Because I think in the interview, not only did he want to interview you and about you and Die Hard, he also wanted to interview you about any other matches you may have had that would be worthy for him to cover on his channel. But also around the same time, too, Rob Black from XPW went after him hardcore because he somehow got his hands on footage of some of the wrestlers and crew of XPW bad-mouthing the fans and not, like, not gimmickly. Like they full were like kayfabe, just running their mouths, and they were using some slurish language. And he got his hands on that footage and posted it on his Patreon. And Rob found out, and he sent all of his goons after him and got his Patreon shut down completely. And his Patreon was his bread and butter. It was what he was. It was his money. You know. Oh yeah. No, I don't argue that. Not in the least. So it was a little messed up because of that. So he was losing his mind on that because he was taking care of bills in his house and some of his family and stuff just off his own Patreon account, and then he lost that overnight. So it was like, oh no, bro. So you can kind of understand how that would mess with you. That'd mess with me hardcore. All right, so now we got that. We're going to take a break from that. We're going to hit this piece up. So what we're going to do is we're going to attach here to here. Once we get this piece attached, we're going to do a little upward carve into the jawline, in which we're going to use this. This is like, it's silly because it's two separate pieces, but at the same time, this worked the best. Because the bottom jaw was strapped completely independently of the top mask. So however he wanted to move his jaw, it just perfectly moved along with everything. So, yeah, so you might remember the one where it was me and Diamond Dog had a handicap match against Necro Butcher, and he beat the ever-living stuffing out of me with a ball bat. And the smart marks came out of the woodwork and were like, yeah, I heard he beat up Vinny because he was mad that Vinny wasn't trained. I'm like, what do you mean I wasn't trained? And I was like, and that wasn't even the first time I faced Necro Butcher. It's like, you guys stop. But at the same time, there were people. It's just the smart marks sometimes just blow your mind, because that's what they were even saying. I still remember one person was even saying that about Prophet and Die Hard's match, sitting there saying that the reason why they weren't blah 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 is because anytime you see deathmatch wrestlers doing stuff, somebody's got to be in there. It's like, oh, he got beat up. Well, it's because he wasn't trained. It's like, we're trained, for God's sakes. A lot of times deathmatch wrestlers are more capable to do regular wrestling. That's why they do death matches, because they are capable in all fields. So go look at Zodiac. Zodiac does death match wrestling, and then watch him do a regular match, and he's amazing. Akira, the same. You know, but it's just watch Brandon Prophet now. Brandon Prophet doesn't do death matches, but he can still wrestle. So it's like that loses any merit when people try to say that deathmatch wrestlers are just people that can't work or can't wrestle. However you want to say it. It drives me nuts sometimes that they just people decide they don't like death matches, so they want to find any way they can to tear it down. And they got to have everybody agree with them. God forbid somebody has their own tastes, you know? I hate it, so you better hate it too. Get this strapped in. I don't think Blake was ready to have that conversation with me, because on the Patreon account, him and me talked for a good like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Blake's made a lot of friendships. He's good friends with Pondo now, and in Necro and stuff, and as well as oh god, there's a huge list. Sexy Eddie, if anybody remembers him, that they had that one where it was the CZW show where he got like a vein or something in his arm and was squirting the blood out and was just drinking the blood from his own arm. Yeah, I remember Ricky Shane Page. Christian faith. Oh my gosh. Well, you remember when when Jake Christ was known as the Christ? They had the tag team, the Christ Brothers. Still thought that would have been a great stable. Call yourselves the clergy, because you would have had a Brandon Prophet, and then the Christ Brothers. It's a full on religion, just right there. And Ricky Shane Page has been having a really good run. I think he's still with them with Major League Wrestling. All right. Oh, that's cool. No, I know what you meant. I knew you meant your aunt. Or your aunt. Your auntie. He just meant somebody's aunt. All the other people on my TikTok that were like on the Discord, they're like, "Oh, we'll be there for your YouTube." At least Desperado, Skull Mortar, and Ravens here. I was like, I know they didn't forget. I even shared it on the Discord 10 minutes after they said they'd be here. I was like, okay, well, I'm going on. Nope. All Pro. Okay, Cleveland All Pro. Okay. All right. Yeah, see? It even said on Discord that I was coming, and the people that were just on the Discord said, "Oh, we'll make sure we watch you." No, they just show up. Okay. We're dropping hot takes. When you guys go run over to the Discord and be like, "Where are you guys at?" They're all afraid. They heard Skull Mortar popped in, and they're like, "Oh no, bro, can't do that. I ain't ready." Oh, you got. Okay, I'm serious. Skull Mortar, you got to get back on the live so you can start doing the Macho Man whispering again. Get right up to the camera and just start whispering about how you make the food better, brother. All right. Well, I know you're not on the Discord. I'm talking about going live on the, get back on your stuff. Yes, you do. A little bit of backsplash on one of those molten plastic pieces just hit my hand. All right, so there's that. And this. So what we need to do is we're going to do a series of holes. The reason why is we're going to be using wire. The wire is going to be coming up, and then we're going to kind of do like a twist of the wire and everything. We're going to be making horns out of metal wire. All right. All right. Oh yeah, the minute I tagged him, I knew he was going to want to check it out. He likes that kind of stuff. Surprised he didn't share it to his thing yet. Okay. The Zodiac's pretty good guy. For heart punching me, what, 3 times now? Son of a gun. Heart punched me 3 times so far. Mikey Motor almost heart punched me. Thank God that didn't happen. That would have sucked. Speaking of Mikey Motor, you guys do know that Mikey Motor is the current Golden Thumb champion for P3W, Pollux Power Pro. And not only that, Pollux Power Pro... Yes, he did. Awesome. Okay, I thought he didn't. Pollux Power Pro is getting ready to have another Golden Thumb tournament. July 6th in Indianapolis at the Wyndham West for Incon Junction 43. It's the 43rd Incon Junction Convention. And we're going to be there 6 o'clock on Saturday, July 6th. So, luckily enough, it wasn't June 6th, or it would have been 6/6 at 6. But we're having, what we're going to do is we're going to have 10 wrestlers, all professionally trained, but they're thumb wrestling. So think of like a no-ring match, but you have to pin their thumb in the ring. It's, so far we have done 1, 2, 3, 4, we've done 4 shows, and all 4 shows, first show was shaky. You know, they gave us a really bad time slot, and we performed to like 12 people. But the good news was, like 5 of the 12 people were all board members for the convention. They're like, we have to give you a better time. And since then, we ran 3 other shows, and all 3 of those shows were, one was 3 away from sold out. The second one was 11 away from sold out, and then our last one was sold out. So we went from almost selling, very close to selling out, to being fully sold out. And now the convention has given us a really good time spot, Saturday from 6 to 8. It's going to be awesome. And we've already gotten 7 of the 10 wrestlers, because we're going to have, they're all first round. 2 matches in the first round are going to be 3-way dances. So people are like, how are you doing that thumb wrestling? Oh, you'll find out. But it's going to be amazing, because it's growing. It's like been getting like super popular, and some of the people that we're announcing for this show, well, I mean, I can say it right here. You guys, I don't know who you're all going to run and tell. So Mikey Motor will be back, but he's got the title, so he doesn't really have to wrestle in the tournament unless he's wanting to make sure that nobody will have to face him, because what they're doing is whoever wins the tournament faces the champion, or has a chance at the championship on either that night or a later date. So any of the combatants that win. Now, if Mikey Motor enters himself and he loses, he doesn't lose the title, but that means that it also doesn't secure the fact that he won't have to worry about anybody facing him. So some of the people that we know and we have confirmed is, first off, myself, Vinny Ratlock, of course. You know, it's my show. The next one is she's been doing really good. She had a winning streak, but then lost to El Azul in a match a couple months ago, which Juniper, Queen of the Unicorns, will be in action, as well as Johnny the Fridge McChill is going to be there, so that's going to be awesome. As well as Oni, the Dragon Mask Man, will be in action. We are also going to have the face collector Jared Savage. Now we're releasing these slowly online, but since you guys are here and there's only 4 of you, I don't care. You guys can know. And I believe El Azul will be coming back. You know, he's primed and ready. He's wanting to use that chance to face Mikey Motor again. I know he's supposed to have a year off, but I believe the loophole is he gets to challenge the champion if he wins the tournament. So if he wins the tournament, he can challenge Mikey Motor before the end of the year. And others, we get to announce Trip Cassidy is actually going to be on board as well. He reached out and was like, this is something that sounds so insane and so fun. I really want to be a part of this. And so, yeah, so we announced Trip Cassidy is going to be a part of the tournament as well. And if you guys know him, I mean, he's part of the old school, like Bizarro Lucha and stuff. Very out there person, and we're happy to have him a part of our tournament as well. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be nuts. If you guys have never seen a professional thumb wrestling match, which I know you haven't because we're the only ones that do it. So it'll be something worth to watch. And especially for the fact if you get a Saturday pass, you also get to attend the convention itself with, vendor fair, trade show, artist alley, seminars, Q&As, movie screenings, all that stuff. So definitely check it out. You can get on inconjunction.com and find out more about the events that are happening, and you can get a badge and everything like that. It's happening in a hotel. I believe not all the rooms are booked yet, so you can still book a room for yourself. So yeah, and that's all I gotta say about that. Dun 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 dun. Why is there no music? All right, there we go. Got music back on. So this is supposed to be the fun part because we're going to be doing wire on the horns. So get our wire out. There we go. How did I? There it is. I just try. Oh, we're going sideways. Okay, so we're going to have these stick out a certain length. Stick them in place. Yes. And we're going to try to cut most of them the same length. So we got the first 5 short ones. We're gonna need 10, honestly. All right, there we are. So now, take this. Up there. All right. What I need to do is sand this little area here. All right, we might as well get the others. Alright, so we got all that. So now, use this. We just gotta let that sit for a minute. That was fun. That's how I did all the. You have a good night as well, Skull. That's what I was getting ready to say. Is how I did the thorns on Brandon Prophet's Ancient Evil mask. So all those look out of order, but we can, since they're anchored in, we can not. Oh, it did not hold. All right. All right. Now, Well, thank you. Yeah, one of the things that Cutter told me was that Brandon Casey is actually an electrician by trade. So I'm like, ooh, we're gonna have wires all throughout the mask. I think that'll be really cool. I think he'll get a kick out of it. Because all these masks that he comes out with kind of pays homage to either the country he's at or the person he's facing. Poop. No, not yet. All right. There we go. I accidentally just pulled the tip off the horn. Dang it. Alright. Now we need to make longer horns. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Now, oops. Okay. There you go. That was gross. Oops. No, in the completely wrong area. I'm liking how these horns are coming out. Like a vampire. Nope, just me. Hello. Right now I need to do, what is this? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 13 on this one. One, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 13. So 6 more. Okay. For the other side. No. Very nice. Okay. No. Never ends. All right, we're getting very close. So we'll see. Horns are done for the night. We're going to go ahead and call it a night. We'll pick back up tomorrow night. We may pick back up tomorrow on TikTok. I don't know. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left. Ah. All right, one more. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to coat the inside here and let it sit overnight with some E6000. And then tomorrow night we will get started on it all again. So I'm really liking the whole wire horns, you know, having the wires coming out, because we're also going to have wires coming in and out throughout the mask. I think that's going to look really cool when that's done. And then we just need to carve around here. Yeah, I can actually do that right now. All right. Ah, it's not playing. All right. Nope. All right, so there we go. That's the top half. Like I said, this is all going to be getting painted and whatnot. That's good. All right, so that is what we have right now. So we're going to go ahead and get off here, and we'll be back on tomorrow night, see what we can get doing close to finishing this. I am the Mask Monger. I thank you guys for watching me, and remember, until next time, always follow the dopamine. That wonderful chemical that your brain releases into your body that rewards you for doing things you truly want to do in life. And I'm not making that up either. That's called science. You guys know what science is, don't you? Science being a branch of knowledge derived from the observation, identification, description, theoretical explanation, experimental investigation of natural phenomena and environment. But it's not just science here. No. It's not just science here. Creation station of Ratlock Labs, deep underground, Minneapolis, Indiana, on youtube.com/The Network, home of the Mask Monger and the Rad Scientist himself, Vinny Ratlock. It is not just science. It is science. We'll see you guys tomorrow night.